One of the greatest political frame jobs to have ever been perpetuated, the Jean Carrol case against Donald Trump for defamation and sexual assault stinks to high heaven. There are a million holes in her case, and in this video I poke through every single one of them. I got the receipt, folks. And any reasonable or sane person would conclude that Jean Carrol committed perjury and entered into a conspiracy to defame an American president for something he did not do. And she certainly didn't carry off this conspiracy by herself. I don't think she's smart enough. She conspired with, obviously, the Democrats, obviously the media, and most disturbing of all, the courts and the citizens of New York who made up that jury and actually awarded this woman on this despicable, horrible case filled with a million holes. And I'm going to show you every single one.
New York jury has found former President Donald Trump liable for sexually abusing and defaming the writer Jean Carrol at the Bergdorf Goodman department store in the 1990s. After just 3 hours of deliberations, the jury ordered Trump to pay Carrol $5 million.
A jury did reach a decision now in the Jean Carrol civil defamation trial against Trump.
Janice in the newsroom now. What did the jury say, Janice?
Louis Christie, this is a huge win for Jean Carrol and quite an amount in this civil defamation trial. She is to be awarded $83.3 million.
These two verdicts are two of the worst verdicts in American legal history. Now, before we delve into the legal facts that completely disprove Jean Carrol's case, I have to point out the obvious. Jean Carrol has always been a flaming liberal. Her two witnesses that she supposedly told about this assault at the time are also flaming liberals. These three women didn't tell a soul while Donald Trump ran for president and won the presidency. These outspoken liberal women, please. Jean Carrol, April 22nd, 2012. Too many good TV shows on Sunday night. My God, what do you watch? Jean Carrol, I'm a massive Apprentice fan. Jean Carrol, August 6th, 2012. Would you have sex with Donald Trump for $17,000? Even if you could, A, give the money to charity, B, close your eyes, and he's not allowed to speak? And if you've actually read Jean Carrol's account of what happened with Donald Trump that day at the department store, it reads like a bad romance novel. It's obviously hyperbolic, it's exaggerated, it's dramatic, it's false. It's ridiculous. But them two aspects aren't legal fact. It's not actual evidence. Here are 5 facts that are straight up evidence proving that Trump did not touch Jean Carrol and that she is a pathological liar. Jean Carrol accused 6 different men of the same exact crime that she accused Trump of. It's actually 7 different men. Carrol is claimed to have been assaulted by numerous men other than Donald Trump, including a babysitter's boyfriend, a dentist, a camp counselor, an unnamed college date, an unnamed boss, and a CBS chief executive, Les Moonves. Her lawsuit against Trump was funded by Democrat billionaire Reid Hoffman. Jean Carrol said she was wearing a dress at the time of the assault that wasn't even created at the time. While Jean Carrol claims she wore a specific black Donna Karan coat dress during the alleged 1990s assault and kept it unlaundered. While Jean Carrol claims she wore a specific black Donna Karan coat dress during the alleged 1990s assault and kept it unlaundered as evidence, a discrepancy regarding the dress's exact design date became a point of contention. The discrepancy. Carrol initially placed the incident in late 1995 or early 1996. However, critics, including Donald Trump's legal team, argue the specific style of the dress shown in photos from 2019 was not produced until 1997 or later. Jean Carrol and her 2 witnesses did not even know what year the assault happened. During the defamation trial, Jean Carrol and her legal team acknowledged that she could not remember the exact date of the alleged assault, initially placing it in late 1995 or early 1996. Very convenient. Jean Carroll's own witnesses sent text to a friend in common saying that the assault didn't even happen. It's too hyperbolic, Martin wrote in the message, according to the exhibit. Too much celebratory stuff over something that hasn't really happened. She says she's going to sue T when adult victims of rape laws passed in New York State or something. What the fuck? Martin is her supposed witness that she told about it at the time. One of two. Jean Carroll was caught emailing her witness that she wanted to scheme to stop Trump. Actually, to be more accurate, it was her witness that suggested that they schemed to stop Trump. Anyways, in September 2017, Martin sent an article making fun of Trump, who she called Orange Crush, to Carroll, and followed it up with another message saying, "This has to stop. And as soon as we're both well enough to scheme, we must both do our patriotic duty." Carroll responded, "Totally. I have something special for you when we meet." And 4 of them 5 facts are in the court transcript. Cannot be denied. And the one fact that isn't in the court transcript is the fact that Jean Carroll accused 7 other men of sexually assaulting her. And we know that because she wrote about it in her stupid fucking memoir. So these facts, as I've laid out, when taken together, I think conclusively prove that Trump is innocent of blanking Jean Carroll. It was a ridiculous case from the start. In any normal court of law, the fact that Jean Carroll or her 2 witnesses couldn't name what year that this allegedly occurred should have been thrown out immediately, dismissed with prejudice. And the fact that Jean Carroll and her witness, Carol Martin, were caught emailing back and forth talking about scheming to stop Trump, that is the most glaring piece of evidence I've ever seen in a courtroom. It's literally an admission of a conspiracy. And them emails were sent back and forth right around the time that Jean Carroll started her book, where she accused Trump of for the first time. And the fact that Carol Martin, the same witness who suggested Jean Carroll scheme to stop Trump, also texted a friend that they had in common saying this hadn't even really happened. How was that witness not immediately impeached as an unreliable, as a witness lacking credibility?
So you say you were in Bergdorf Goodman,
I was coming out of Bergdorf's.
which was a store I heard you liked a lot.
It's a posh and cozy
Your
and
whole
just
face lights up when you talk about Bergdorf Goodman, by the way.
I was just there today.
Okay.
I just loved it. So then we went up. He was going to get some lingerie. And I am just like, oh, I can dine out forever on this story. We're going to go get lingerie. The minute I was in there, he shut the door and pushed me up against the wall and banged my head on the wall and kissed me. It was so shocking. I couldn't, of course, I started laughing again, because...
You started laughing?
Of course.
Why? Why, of course?
Because it was a way of, if it was at all erotic in his part, it would, if a man is laughed at, it usually will make him, and he put his shoulder against me to hold me against the wall. And at that point, I realized that I was in a very difficult situation.
Did he say anything?
No. It was just like, we're going to do this thing. We're just so hot for each other. Why would I even try to think what he was thinking? Anyway, so he pushed me, held me with his shoulder, and I was wearing a coat dress and tights, and he pulled down the tights. And so, that's
he pulled it with both hands, with one hand?
One. And even though I can talk about it now and put words to it, at the time the adrenaline is pouring through me, and all I want to do is right.
How would you describe? What were you? You said you were obviously surprised, fighting. Right. Were you scared? Were you angry?
I was too panicked to be scared.
Too panicked to be scared. Okay.
You
said adrenaline was pumping.
I assume it was, right, because I got strong enough. He's 6'3", apparently. I've looked it up. 6'1" in the massive heels I was wearing. And so we were even, almost even in height, and down go the tights, and it was against my will, and it hurt, and it was a fight. I'm not the victim.
You don't feel like a victim?
I was not thrown on the ground and ravished, which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual.
Most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies. You're fascinating to talk to.
Does that seem to be a very credible person? Was that story very credible? I mean, I'm trying to be professional here, guys, but my God. It was like it was written by an 11-year-old. I'd say a 15-year-old girl could write better than that. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. I'm literally 4 or 5 times the author that Jean Carrol is, and I haven't published anything. But anyways, back to her behavior when combined with the facts as I've laid out make a pretty compelling case that Jean Carrol was lying, and therefore Donald Trump did not defame Jean Carrol. In fact, it's outrageous that this even happened. This was a huge frame-up, and it's right there, right before everyone's eyes, and most people don't know this. Most people are 100% ignorant of the facts, and these Democrats, they just repeat the lie. Rinse, cycle, and repeat. Finally, guys, I feel like I have to address this because I don't see anyone else addressing this. There was another aspect of this case that was very disturbing and set a really terrible precedent. Basically, it was taking away every man's human right to deny an allegation that he disputes. Because what happened was, this woman came forward with these spurious claims. Donald Trump said, she's crazy. I don't know what she's talking about. She then sued him for defamation and sexual assault. She's awarded $5 million, and Donald Trump still maintains his innocence. She sues him again, and that time she was awarded $85 million. If this isn't a direct attack on the human right to freedom of speech, I don't know what is. If we don't have the right to deny an allegation that we find to be false, what rights do we fundamentally possess?
You've talked about using some of Trump's money that you're about to get to help shore up women's rights. Do you know what that might be, what that might look like?
Yes, Rachel. Yes.
Tell me.
I had such great ideas for all the good I'm going to do with this money. First thing, Rachel, you and I are going to go shopping. We're going to get completely new wardrobes, new shoes, motorcycle for Crowley, new fishing rod for Robbie. Rachel, what do you want? Penthouse? It's yours,
Nothing.
Rachel. Penthouse and France? You want France? You want to go fishing in France? No? Oh, all right, okay.
That's a joke.
All right, okay.
That's a joke.
Although if me fishing in France could do something for women's rights, I would take the hit. You know, I would obviously take one for the team. All right, let me